Hi, guys. We'll just let everybody trickle in now. Nice to see you, Andy.
Good winter.
Say again?
Good winter?
Good winter. Yeah, I'd say so, given all the nonsense that we've had to deal with. I think it's been a good winter overall, but I'm dead ready for the summer.
Oh God, yes.
Hi, Dunk.
Am I on, Johan?
Yeah, I can hear you, Lee.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hi, Dunk. How you keeping, man? You good?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate.
I'm just admitting a few more people here, guys.
Okay.
Trickle through and we'll start. Hey, Joneses. Hey, Dave. Hi, Adam.
Oh, yeah. No volume.
I'm doing it for you now.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to keep saying it. Like, so
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Millie. I'm sort of saying hello to people as I see the names. Hey, Bear. Hello, Ben. I can't see you, but I can see that you're on. Damn, seeing you guys' faces is making me excited for the season, man. Hello, Jacob. If you guys are okay with it, I'm just going to give it a little bit longer. We currently have quite a few. It's quite a good turnout, guys. It's good to see. I know that Rich Sinclair is on his way home, so he might be joining us late. Joseph needs letting in. Joseph, are you in? I think he is in. Jacob. Jacob's joining. Let's see if I can get him in. Millie says she's on. Hello, Millie. Luke Brandt wants to be off mute. Stand by. Where are you? There you are. There you go.
Yeah, just in case someone puts something in the chat, mate, so I can just say.
Yeah, I will do. I'll make that point now, guys. I'll once the meeting started, then if anybody, hang on, somebody put their hand up. Stand by. Was that just somebody giving me a high five? Once the meeting is started, use the chat box only if you've got questions, because I'm going to mute everybody. If there's pertinent questions that come to mind, please use the chat box to type those questions in. Luke Brand's going to keep an eye on that for me. And then at the appropriate time, Luke, I'll leave you unmuted. And if you see anything that comes up that that needs addressing or stopping me, then please do so. So it says Jacob's trying to get in. I've admitted him a couple of times. Let's just see if he gets in. Joseph is in. Once Jacob's in, I think we'll start. Lewis Modley is joining. Will T is trying to get in. The only person I've got waiting at the moment or joining is Modders. Is Will T in? I don't see him. Mikey Phillips is joining. I think we'll give it until 22 guys, and then we'll start, eh? And then people can join in as they come. I think I did unmute. I don't think I ever muted you again. Where are you, Branty? There you are.
I'm going to stay off on mute because I don't know why it keeps muting me, but I'll just keep quiet my end just in case a question
Yeah, I
comes
think
up.
so. Yeah, that'll be good. Ah, I see you, Mali. Hi. Is Jake Cars? Can you confirm that Jacob is in? Millie, Lee, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just check if Jacob is in, please. Hello, Mikey.
He's in. I can see him. Said Luke Monday.
Will T is joining. I'll let him in and then I'll start.
Cool.
All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for making the time to attend this meeting. I had a meeting earlier with some of the other members of the club and committee members, and I think it's fair to say that we are quite excited about the direction that our club's going in this year. I'm going to keep everybody on mute. If you've got a question, type it in the chat box. Luke Brandt will keep an eye on that for me, and he'll stop me in my tracks if there's something that needs addressing. We all know how Zoom works. Well, for those of you that don't, we get 40 minutes for free. We've already eaten into the first 10 minutes of our free 40 minutes. I've got a backup meeting ready to go. If we do run over, then just go to, I'll give Luke Monday the go-ahead to share that link. And then the same place where you found the information for this meeting, just go click on it and we can continue the meeting if required. But I'm going to try and keep it as brisk as I can. I've been a member of Alverley Cricket Club since 2005, so I'm in my 16th year, and I love the place. I mean, I live in Telford, and I've lived in different parts of the country, and I've always remained a member of Alverley Cricket Club because there's a lot of good things about the club that we do really well. It has, however, for the last 16 years, been pretty much the same club. And what I mean by that is it's generally a club that has two teams on a Saturday that play competitively, and there's a team that plays on Wednesdays. And you generally see the same people that are actively involved with the club. Some others come and go. As a club, we're very good at certain things. Like we always have a pristine ground. That's thanks to some key members of the club. We have a great lot of fun, and I do. That's one of the reasons why I'm involved with the club and will continue to be. Now, if we look back at 2020, I think you guys can all agree that there was quite a lot of positives from last year. It was an unusual year, wasn't it, with COVID and all of that? But we've had some people join our club. Our training sessions is better than they've ever been. For those that had an opportunity to attend, they were so good. And I really want to build on that. The way that we've developed our junior players, some of the newer players that have joined that have no cricket experience, I thought that was a very good positive for us as well. The way that our ground has been viewed by other teams, that's only going to go from strength to strength as well. So I want to talk to you guys really quickly about a couple of things. I've been using this phrase a lot when I've been speaking to my vice captains and to other people. If you keep doing the same things, you'll keep getting the same results. And what I mean by that is, you know, it can be results on your own performance. It can be results as a club. I think as a club, we've always done the same things and we keep getting the same results. Because as a club, as I've just discussed with you in the last 16 years, whilst there's things that improve and things that go down, we've generally been the same club for the last decade and a half, as far as I've been involved. For people that have been involved with the club for longer, you might know more. Now, if we keep doing the same things, we will remain that club for the next 10, 15 years. Okay, but I think we've got so much potential to build our profile and to take it in a really, really good direction. And I want to talk to you about a paradigm shift. Some of you might have heard that phrase before, a paradigm shift. If you haven't before, I'm going to give you a quick analogy to help you understand what a paradigm shift is. A guy walks onto a train. He's done with work and he's got his journey home. He's fed up, and he goes along and he's got about 5 stops. And on one of the stops, a dad gets on with 3 kids that are just the most obnoxious and loud kids, crying, you know, just hysterical. And you know what it's like. Sometimes you look at parents and you think, well, why is this guy not doing anything? He's just sitting there. He's got his head down and he's just ignoring what's going on around him, while his kids are ruining the train journey for everybody else. And the more and more fed up he gets, he eventually builds up the courage to go and confront this dad. And he says to them, come on, man, do you mind? Like, just have a word with the kids. Like, it's ruining the trip for everybody here. And the dad looks down and he says, damn, you're right. I'm so sorry. These kids have just come back from the hospital where they learned that their mom has died. Now, pause that moment right there. Same train, same environment, same people. But in that moment, that guy had a paradigm shift. He had a complete mentality shift. All of a sudden, he was able to look at the situation completely differently and completely empathize with the situation and completely change his own attitude about the situation, even though it's the same train, the same people. He just needed that paradigm shift. He needed that mentality shift. And this year, we're going to have a bit of a mentality shift with a lot of the things that we do at the club. And I'd like to go into some of those now. One of the first things that we're going to do better is we are going to look the part. We can all agree that in the last few years, there's some of us that look the part, but then as a club or as a team, we just all have these different outfits, hats, and things like that. And when we compare ourselves to the way that some of the other clubs look, we just don't look the part. If we all know the good work that Twiggy and the committee has done regarding players' shirts, training shirts, I really want to encourage everybody to get your membership paid, because we know that if you get your membership paid by, I forgot the date, but it's later this month. You can perhaps, Twiggy, if I unmute you just for a second.
21st.
Thanks, Twiggy. If you pay your membership by the 21st, you automatically get a free playing shirt and a free training shirt. So already we will look better as a club, and already we'll raise our profile. Because, I mean, our ground is one of the best grounds that I see in everywhere we go. And if we can look our part as the players, and then we'll talk about our game as well shortly. This year, we're really going to be consistent on the following. Everybody that puts the equal amount of, if you put the same amount of effort into the training, contributions around the ground, your own performance, everybody that puts equal effort in will get equal opportunities. That doesn't matter whether you've been a member of the club for 20 years or for only since last season. If you put the same amount of effort in, we will endeavor to give you the same opportunities. Barney and I have discussed some of the upcoming season, and I've discussed it with my vice captains as well. And we're going to have a selection headache. If everybody that's as enthusiastic about the season, if everybody plays that say that they're going to play, we are going to have a selection headache. And the reality is, let's just look at the headache that Barney and I will have. Can we all agree that there's 11 players on a cricket team, right? We all know that. Now, if there's 22 players regularly available They all come to the training, they do their part. Barney and I won't have a selection headache because we'll just fill out those two teams, right? But we won't grow as a club, will we? We'll always have those same two. If we want to grow to have a third and a fourth team in a few years' time, on Saturdays anyway, then there is going to be a growing pain where there might be 25 players now that regularly do their part. They regularly work on their performance. They regularly attend what they need to, and they contribute to the club as a wide, in a wider sense. Now, we know that there's going to be 3 out of those 25 players that are not going to get a chance to play on the Saturday. And there's nothing that we can do about that, right? Because that just is how many players can play. So I want to talk about those 3 players for a second. If you're one of those 3 players that are sort of in the promotion relegation zone regarding Saturdays, how do you go about proving yourself and getting yourself as a regular player in the second team, if that's what you want? Some of us are in our careers, if I think about somebody like Luke Mundy, for example, he's a school teacher. Luke Mundy didn't just one day pay a membership and say, I want to work at that school, I want to teach that class, and that's what I want to do. And I'm going to keep asking until I get what I want. That's not how life works. There's things that he had to do. He had to be a teaching assistant. He had to study while he was a teaching assistant. Myself in my own career, we all know, anybody that has an established career knows you don't just get out of life by asking and persisting and just by participating. You got to look at your ways, your route of entry, and how you can make your own impression. So for those players that are sort of on the relegation promotion side of things when it comes to Saturday playing, what's your route of entry? We're going to have regular Sunday games. We're going to have regular Wednesday games. Lewis, the Wednesday captain, and myself have pledged that players that do not get selected on the Saturday, because of this good problem that we have of a growing club, you will get preference to play on the Sunday and Wednesdays. Fact. So they'll, in my scenario above, if we have 25 players regularly doing their bit, then those 3 players will automatically get selection opportunity. If we have 30 players that are registered with the club, and 5 of them really pick and choose when they play, 5, or they don't ever help out setting up the games and things, or for example, if their performance hasn't been good, well, you're not in that band of 25 players that we're talking about, then are you? You got to work, you got to get yourself in that equal opportunities band. And if you do, then that's the attitude that we're going to take towards you and give you the opportunity to prove yourself, to work on your game. And if your goal is to play on Saturdays regularly, then that's your way of getting in. Same thing regarding attitude. If Barney's team has 7 established bowlers, good problem to have, Barney, right? However, we all know that all 7 bowlers aren't going to get their 8 overs. We can't have one of those bowlers sulking and being upset about the fact that they haven't. At some point, decisions have to be made, and we are a sports club and a social club. I saw a wonderful banner that Twiggy's prepared for us, and it says we train together, we play together, and we socialize together. Now that's the kind of club that we want to move forward with. And if you bring your part and you contribute, you will get equal opportunity. If I go back now to the selection headache, the only way that Barney and I and Lewis are going to get the best out of everybody is if we ourselves are consistent with our selection policy. It's all one thing talking the talk tonight and saying that this is how we're setting out our stall. But if we are not consistent, then that's picking a rod for our own back. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what are some of the things that are going to be looked upon for selection this year. And it's kind of our way of setting out our stall and saying, there it is. We've now had the difficult conversation. If later down the season, that difficult conversation about your position in the team or selection or something like needs to take place, then we've already set the foundation of what we base that on. And we pledge that we will be consistent with that. So a big thing for me this year and how I think we can grow as a club and become and raise our profile is our paradigm shift is going to be away from the days of, okay, I know that if I make myself available, I'm buddy with people here. I know that it's quite likely that I'm going to get selected to play in this or that team. It's quite likely that I'm going to get to bat where I asked to get to bat. And if I don't perform this week or the week after, then I can just pitch up the week after and hope for the best. And something's going to change. It might come off, it might not come. We're going to have a complete shift of that. And how we're going to go about it now is, you know, you should each have your own personal expectations of what you think you bring to the team. You know, are you a bowler? Are you a batsman? Are you an all-rounder? Are you a wicketkeeper? Are you a terrific fielder? What is the strengths that you bring to the team? And how can we... So I just had a message saying my internet connection is unstable. Is everybody still hearing me okay? Thumbs up? Yep. Okay. How can I... Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, so what am I bringing to the team? What is my role here? And I want you to have a complete dialogue, regular dialogue with your captain about what your role is in the team. Now, let me give you an example. If somebody says to me, Johan, I think I'm an opening batsman and I'd like to open the batting, then I'm going to have that conversation with that person and think, okay, so what do you think, if you're having a good day, what is your average? What do you think your average should be that you judge yourself on? If that guy says to me, I want to open the batting and I think I should average 10, well, no, that's not going to happen, right? If he says that I think I should average 25, then we might have the conversation and say, okay, well, why don't we in the beginning of the season set yourself a target of averaging at least 18, right? You then, you know, you then go and you smash those, that average, fine. You keep the bat where you want to bat and we'll start raising that bar in consultation with you and other people. And therefore you're growing and the team's growing. Now, if you said that you think you should average 25, we agreed on 18. And for the first 3 games, you've averaged 7.5 and you're opening the batting. The days where that will continue to happen is gone. We need to see active and proactive management of your own performance, where if you see that you're underperforming in your own expectations that you've set for yourself, we have a fantastic resource in this club in Lee Carr as a coach, and I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. We've got other players that are keen to lend support and lend advice. We need to see from you that you are attending the training, you are going to the net sessions, you know that you keep getting out in a certain way, but your wicket matters to you and that you want to work on not getting out that way. What are you doing actively and proactively to avoid that, right? If we see that, brilliant. You keep getting your chances. If we don't, then there is a queue of people that want to open the batting. And I'm afraid you're not going to get to bat where you want to bat until you show us that that you can look after your wicket and build an innings. Same with the bowlers. Same with wicket keepers, same with anybody else that has an assumed role that they think they should be doing with the club. It's about having your own personal standards. Now, guys, we love cricket, right? There's what we love about cricket is that you can be on a day where you just have a bad day. You just get a great ball, or you get run out, or you drop a catch that you're expected to take. Well, fine, that happens. But we're talking about over a period of time. When the days of somebody saying, oh, it's going to feel better next week. You know, I'm not going to do anything this week to improve my batting, but next week I'll have another go and somehow it's going to be better. That's gone. That's gone. You've got to show that you are working on your game, because there is players in the second team that we need to be pushing for the first team. We have a selection headache this year, guys, where you are going to see players that regularly played in the first team last year lining up for the seconds because we're oversubscribed. You know, so there's places up for grabs. And if you get selected to play for the second team, it's not an insult. It's an opportunity for you to push for the first team. If you get dropped from the second team, it's not an insult. It's an opportunity for you to work on your Wednesdays and Sundays and at training to improve your own self and improve your game. And if we do that, I'll go back to this point that Luke Brandt made earlier. We all know that cricket is a team sport that's played by individuals. If you take care of your own individual sphere of performance and you're active about it, then your team performance will take care of itself and the club performance will take care of itself. Of course, I'm talking about the playing side of things. There's much more than being part of a club, you know. you know, the contributions that you make socially, the contributions that you make before and after a game, and all these other things that we'll touch on as well. Lee Carr, I've known him since I joined the club, right? 16 years. And I can honestly say, and I don't mind, I've said it to him, and I don't mind saying it publicly, I've seen him evolve as a person. This role as coach has done him no end of good, right? I'll give you guys a quick example. Lee shared with me a document where he's been looking at some home drills that people can do to improve certain things. And he's also looked at stretches, yoga, smoothies, you know, that you can do for nutrition and things like that. Now, you guys that have known Lee Carr for a long time, did you ever think you'll see the day where Lee Carr talks to you about yoga and smoothies, right? No, I didn't think that 10 years ago, but he's clearly researched his field and he's passionate about this. And if the training that we had last year is anything to go by, there is some real good quality stuff there that we can benefit from. And the training was just tremendous. So as captains, we are going to really use Lee Carr as a resource this year. If somebody's struggling with somebody, with something, you know, if you keep getting out LBW, or you keep playing half-hearted shots, or you keep getting caught in the slips, we'd like to send you to Lee Carr, and he will welcome you. He will actually embrace the opportunity. If you say to him, this is how I keep getting out, he'll give you some simple wax on, wax off drills like the Karate Kid that seems so simple, and you know, you'll find yourself improving. But that's what we want to see. We want to see people, if you know that you're not doing your job, or maybe you're a bowler and you know that you can swing the ball in all day long, but you can't do it deliberately. It kind of just happens, and you want to learn how to swing the ball out. Go and speak to Lee Carr. You might bring a problem to him that he's never dealt with before. Then it's up to him and his own progress to go and research that problem and come back with a solution. And that way he grows as a person as well. As captains, we will be using his advice a lot this year when we ask about, you know, who's putting in the effort to develop their game or to work on their performance. We're not going to be asking Lee for selection approval, but we are going to be speaking to him and getting an idea of who's putting the yards in. And that will form a big part of our selection ethos. Is Barney here? Oh, he is. Okay, I couldn't see his Chrome Dome. I could just see his name. So equal opportunities for people that put in the same amount of effort, guys. And things like the following things will form another part of our selection criteria. We've traditionally had people that sort of pick and choose when they're available to play. And then we've had people that are regularly available to play. Look, we know that not everybody can play every Saturday or every Wednesday or anything. There's legitimate reasons. We all have careers, we all have families, we all have holidays, weddings that we don't want to go to. We'd rather play cricket, but we know we've got to go to these weddings and things like that. That happens. But there are also those players that sort of dip in and out of the club. If you're one of those players, I want to encourage you to, you know, look at yourself, because players that regularly make themselves available will automatically get a bit of a preference when it comes to selection. Performance is going to be another key criteria for selection. The way you go about your training and your own personal improvement ethic is going to be a criteria for selection. And then also your contribution to the club as a wider whole, you know, the things that you bring to the club away from just the cricket pitch, because that is what we are. Twiggy made a very good point earlier that if we don't have a club, none of us get the opportunity to play cricket anyway. So as I said earlier, life is also about what you put in as opposed to just what you can get out. So I've sort of set out the stall there. It's very important that Barney, myself, Lewis are consistent with this policy. And guys, I love the club. I love the fun that we have, and that's not going to change. Rich has just joined. I'm just letting him in. Hello, Rich. Welcome, mate. For what it's worth, the meeting is being recorded, so you'll be able to catch up, mate. But guys, what I want to, it says I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to finish my remarks. And Luke Mundy, if you can go ahead and distribute the information for the follow-up meeting, then I'm going to log off and we log on to the next meeting so we can get our extra time. Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is we're going to have that mental shift this year. We don't want people saying that, oh, you know, we are what we are. We play in this division. We pitch up, you know, we're a sports club as well as a social club. You know, sometimes we get the balance right in one and not in the other. Our performance needs to grow. And if we raise our performance when it comes to the training, to our playing and the way we look and all these things that I've discussed, our whole club profile will raise and people will know about Alverley, and people that left Alverley Cricket Club will think, damn it, why did I leave that club? Look at where they're going now. But we will only go in that direction if we have that mentality and paradigm shift that I've discussed. And as I said earlier, if we keep doing the same things, we'll keep getting the same results, good or bad. And if we work on our individual performance and our individual growth, then we'll be better people, but we'll also help our team and help our club. And these are things, guys, without being too cheesy about it, that goes for life. Mediocrity in life is not rewarded. You don't just pitch up in life and always get your way. If you don't perform in your work, well, conversations will be had. You know, and you need to work on your own individual performance at work. If you're not doing well as a dad, guess what? You need to do things to improve as a dad. It's not just, you can't just pitch up every day and think that you're going to be a better dad. You've got to actively work on that. There's so many wider lessons we can learn here, but we are a cricket club, and so we're going to keep it to the cricket. So I'm going to pause it there for a second. Luke has just sent out the next meeting details. If you guys can just end this one and join on that one, then we'll have an open forum. All right.